I'm doing good. I'm playing live.
I know, it's just interesting because I am very bad at this, but you are much better at playing live.
Well,
or we will see.
I don't know if I'm better at it, but yeah, sometimes behind the scenes we pre-record the gameplay footage, but I'm playing this sucker live.
Yeah,
so you can say jump, Wes, and I'll say how high.
Jump.
How high?
About that high. That's good.
I just started jumping first by accident, but anyway.
Yeah, we are checking out a game called Penny's Big Breakaway today, which is pretty exciting for a number of reasons. One, I've played about 2 hours of this game, and I am quite enthralled with it. It's really fun. It's a very interesting and unique take on 3D platforming that I don't think we've seen, at least for a while, in a few ways. And if you're familiar with this game and the team behind it, Evening Star, you know it's being developed by the people who basically created, alongside Sega, Sonic Mania, which is arguably the best Sonic 2D platforming game. I'm not going to wade into that debate because I don't have a horse in the race, but people love Sonic Mania. And while the easy layup to making a game after Sonic Mania for these developers was probably something along the lines of that game, they instead decided to go from 2D to 3D with Penny's Big Breakaway, which is a I've been describing it as like a momentum-based 3D platformer, meaning I don't think it falls into the Mario side of 3D platforming, which, you know, Mario has popularized and Nintendo has kind of nailed. There's still collectibles, there's still things to do, but it feels...
You don't have camera control, which is like...
strange.
Maybe you could say is a little 3D landy, maybe, but it definitely has its own feel for sure.
Yeah, and as you can see, we've got this combo meter thing on the right, and that's kind of like speaking to the momentum side of this gameplay that I mentioned earlier, which feels right at home for people who made a really good Sonic game. So I've played this about 2 hours, and when I first started playing it, it was a very strange feeling because I liked it, but I was like, it just felt so weird and different to me because I wanted to explore every nook and cranny because that's what I do in these games. But as you mentioned, they control the camera, which is really strange to me. And I kind of had to flip my brain to think about, okay, if I can't move the camera over here, then there's nothing there for me to see, which has been the case in everything I've played so far. And instead, I've been focusing on the just moving around this world and keeping my combo going, which you can see Kyle's doing pretty well here. Like, yeah, I mean, just look at this. It's about movement.
This is a good spot to talk about the combo because I got all these penguins to take out.
So another thing that is unique about this game is you can't actually defeat any of these enemies. It's more like a temporary escape. If 5 of them get on you, you lose one of your green health bars there in the bottom left. And to get rid of them, you have to... Yeah, you can just jump off like that. That does it, actually.
That's a strategy, technically, I guess, but that's not what I meant to do.
But yeah, you have to combo and use Penny's various yo-yo moves to get them off of you. Another strange, at first, decision, because, you know, in these games, you typically just hit an enemy, they die, and you don't have to worry about them. But it kind of creates this fun pressure mechanic where you're never really safe if the penguins are around, and you have to keep moving, which kind of speaks to the whole idea of momentum-based gameplay. But I've played a bunch. I've just talked about it a bunch. Kyle, I'm curious what you think about this game so far.
Yeah, I like what I've played so far. I mean, I don't even know where to sort of pinpoint the vibe. It's certainly of the past, but it's like maybe Dreamcast kind of era.
I have an answer for you.
Oh, you do? Okay, great.
Not to tease too much, but I am doing a bigger piece on this game, and I've spoken to the team extensively about it, which has been interesting. The main point of inspiration, one of the main points, is the PlayStation 1 1995 game Jumping Flash. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Okay. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is
that
kind of
makes total sense.
Yeah, it kind of speaks to their whole philosophy of 3D platforming, which, you know, you can either go the weird exploratory broken route that sometimes appeared in that, you know, the early beginnings of that genre, or you can just try to be Nintendo and do what Mario does. And they're tackling the strange side of 3D platforming, and I think it works really well in their favor because everything else in the game is zany and very eclectic and unique for sure. Very inspired.
Yeah, but I like the way it feels. I'm with you where I was like, oh, I don't have camera control. What an odd thing. Like, it throws you off at first.
Yeah.
But it is one of those things where it's like, you kind of get it after a while, you know, because it's like, oh, it just wants you to focus on the platforming, and you can actually use the right stick to throw the yo-yo. Like, I'm spinning the right stick to spin right now. Oh gosh, okay, I'm okay. I don't, how about you? Did you end up using that a lot? Where you
I did, yeah. I feel like I've said this 10 times already, but it's a game that I tried to play like I would most 3D platformers. So you can use buttons to like use the yo-yo.
Yeah, you can just hit X, yeah.
But like,
oh, gosh, I keep
to get to like a higher level of play, which, you know, I watch them play and they're just zooming through this level, non-stop combos. It's awesome. The right stick feels pretty essential to kind of keep every move connected. And so like I had to kind of teach myself to use that instead of the buttons that I'm usually familiar with in games like this.
Oh, I want all those. I gotta go back.
Yeah, you gotta get every single one.
There we go.
But yeah, this is one of the first levels in the game, Vanilla Town, which is where Penny is from and where most of the people in the world of Macaroon, as it's called, live. To kind of set the stage of the story if you're unfamiliar. This entire society is built on your ability to perform and be a performer. Penny goes to a talent show, and right before that talent show, she picks up a strange cosmic yo-yo, something that has it's hungry and it just wants to eat things. And so Penny's going to perform for the Emperor at this talent show using her yo-yo, not realizing that it is an entirely different beast now. The yo-yo eats the Emperor's clothes, and the Emperor sics his army of penguins on her. And now your goal is to escape from Vanilla Town and basically to the edges of Macaroon, because you don't want to let the penguins get you. And this is one of the first stages in the game, and we're about to see Kyle do a busker bonus.
Yeah, how do I do this, Wes? Because I messed this up the first time.
There's three tiers down there: purple, blue, and yellow. Right. You want to aim for the yellow every time.
Right. Okay. That part I got, but then it's like I have to press a button or something.
Yeah, there's a QTE sequence for every tier that you've landed on. So if you land on yellow, that's going to be 3 QTE sequences. If you perform those correctly, you get like a point bonus to your total score. And these are on every stage I've played so far.
I guess we'll see how it goes. All right. So what? All right. This is what I messed up when do I press a button? Like
you gotta do. Let's see. Down X.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I messed it up. But I didn't. I didn't see that the first time, and I was like, I guess I just like press buttons or something. I messed that up.
This is her busker performance in front of the town. Everything.
So imagine that, but done well.
Yes,
and you'll get a good idea of what you're supposed to do. And Wes, you were thinking maybe we hop to one other level a little bit later in the game?
Yeah, I think so. We're going to go to World 3, which is called Zafra. It's the desert biome of this world. And so this is Zafra. This is the desert take on this game. So something I spoke to the team about was kind of like the tropes of platforming. There's always an ice level, always a water level, a fire level, a desert level, and they're playing into that. Like they are aware that you can't, when you're making a platformer, that's just part of the gig. But here, the desert is Cobalt, and it's basically the electric power plant of this world. Which is why the sand
looks
is
like this is the first time I'm seeing it, which is kind of cool. But it looks like you're in like a computer or something.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, there you go. The art style is Bauhaus, Bauhaus. It's like a Germanic art movement from like the 1920s. That's like their main inspiration. Which it's basically like abstract art and primitive geometry, is how I've seen it described. But it kind of informs everything. I mean, it's a very different art style, and before I knew what kind of art they were going for with Bauhaus, it just kind of reminded me of the 90s, I guess, maybe because of the color palette.
90, yeah. I think that's one of the reasons I was like, I don't even know what point of video game reference to attach this to, which is like a compliment in a way, because it's like so often you look at something in the game space and you're like, oh, well, clearly they're playing with, Castlevania or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
They curl up into golf balls.
Yeah, it was cool talking to them about, because the team behind this Evening Starts, they've done a lot of 2D pixel work, and they didn't really have plans to do. Yeah, they're great at it, and it's like that's the easy. Why not just do more? But they kind of wanted to tackle this the 3D platforming genre's like earliest beginnings with like Jumping Flash on PS1.
Gosh, yeah.
With intentions to make it feel much better than those games did.
Jumping Flash is a game that I think I don't remember where I was reading it recently, but someone like Oh boy. Oh, can I get out of here? How do I get out of here, Wes?
I'm not actually sure. You might have.
Oh, here we
there
go.
you go.
Okay, I got it. But someone like said like, oh, what? Imagine if they made that VR, and that was like such a horrifying idea to me.
Yeah.
Because if you're not familiar with Jumping Flash, it does kind of have this weird abstract look, reminiscent of this. Now that Wes has pointed it out to me, but it's all about like first-person platforming, like massive jumps. In the PS1 era, it's a very strange but interesting game. What are you?
Hit it and find out.
hit
Yeah.
it. If you hurry to my patch, you can catch it. So is this like a time trial or something? Oh, so far so good.
So these are
Yeah, I can't
denizen
emphasize enough that
challenges.
this is me just doing this all
on the fly.
on spec here.
Can confirm.
I think I'm doing all right.
Oh, you might. Nice.
Did I see the sunset?
Yeah,
You made it. Beautiful. One of you. I like how the sort of background sort of blurs out in an interesting way.
Yeah, it's like fuzzy almost.
Yeah. It's cool. It's unique. Like they really, I'm impressed with this game in general because like we said earlier, and by we I mean US, they could have continued on the Sonic path. Like they were successful there, and I can't imagine Sega was like opposed to them doing more. But I'm impressed at like. I like that they were like, no, we're gonna do our own thing. We're like, in all senses of the word, we're gonna make our own IP. We're gonna. I mean, that's a tough thing to do. Speaking of tough things to do, that I just tried to attempt was a tough thing to do.
Yeah, it's definitely and like not to mention like 3D platforming, unless you're Mario, is kind of like a niche genre too. Not niche, but it's not as popular as it once was.
Yeah, it's also one of those like leave it to the pros kind of genres.
Exactly.
It's like, should we even try to compete with Nintendo here?
Yeah. But arguably, in their own sense, the people behind this game, given Sonic Mania, are kind of pros as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like people love Sonic Mania for plenty of reasons. It's great. Probably better than a lot of what other Sega games starring the Hedgehog. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm curious. Like now that you've played a little bit more of it, do you get kind of like the Sonic feel in this? Kind of like in the way that, at least for me, like you do want to keep moving at all times, and they're not really trying to slow you down in the same way that Sonic does, I think. Like I can connect the dots for sure there.
Yeah, I mean, even being able to like I pull the right trigger to jump on my yo-yo like that feels like a very Sonic-esque mechanic. That's a good point. I need a popsicle, man. I'm down to one popsicle here.
And so these little guys with the exclamation marks, which we've done a few already, but they're like denizen challenges. There's 3 in every level. And they're various little things like that. I did one later in this world where this power company has to find their tax forms scattered around the desert, and you go and collect them for it, and they're like very excited, and they call you intern, which is fun. I like the style of humor here. And yeah, there's 3 in each level, so 100%ing a level, I guess, would be collecting all 3 of those, and then collecting the 3 show pieces, which are they're scattered around the world. You kind of have to do like a off the beaten path platforming challenge to get them. But and what I've played so far, that's it. So again, it's not going the Nintendo route where Mario has 1,000 moons to find. It's 6 things to find in every level. And I get the sense the goal is to kind of like Sonic, play through the level, find all the secrets, and then focus on getting through the level as fast as you can, maybe in a second run of it. Get that combo high and that kind of stuff. There you go, found a popsicle.
Oh, I can't. Is the dark blue? I think is dangerous.
Yeah, it kind of like quicksands you up.
All right.
Another part of this game I want to highlight, because that's why I wanted to go to this world, because I love the song that plays here. The score is unsurprisingly awesome. It's T. Lopes and Sean Bialo. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but yeah, I mean T. Lopes did Sonic Mania, TMNT, Shredder's Revenge, Streets of Rage 4. He's kind of becoming like one of the, or I would say probably has become one of the most like well-known composers in games, specifically for like the more retro sound that he provides.
Oh, jeez.
And this is no exception. The score is
I'm
like
digging this.
Really awesome. And it's like
Why did you make me come to such a hard level, Wes? Why did you do this to me?
I had to take it down a notch.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, it kind of gives you a
Yeah.
preview of where you're going to land. Oh god, the penguins are coming after me. Yeah, it's funny. Fighting the penguins almost feels like you're trying to pull off like combos, you know? Screw you guys. All right, there we go. I like these little rails. These are cool.
Yeah, nice little reset. Catch a break. Or breath. Let's see if you get the busker bonus.
Oh no! Get out of here, penguins! There's a lot happening here. And I'm low on popsicles. Gosh, I almost died right there. Because I want to, yeah, I got to do it right. Come on, there we go. All right, now I can go up here. All right. And now I'm going to do it right this time. He lied out loud. There we go. All right.
All right, pressure's on. Everyone's watching.
I don't even know why I messed up last time. Do I have to do it in rhythm or something?
No, you just have to do it in order. And if
Okay, there we go.
you can't make a mistake.
There we go.
Yeah, the rotation's always good.
That threw me off. Let's see.